We are just hours away before a Monday Night Raw tonight on Netflix, and we can officially confirm, according to rumor and gossip and speculation, that the Papa H honeymoon is over. The game Triple H is what I'm referring to. The TKO board has lost confidence in Triple H, according to those in the know. And tonight, Raw may be looking at some unprecedented action, bringing in Shane McMahon to seize control of Monday Night Raw. To say the landscape of professional wrestling has just shifted violently would be the understatement of the decade. And if you thought that the AJ Styles AEW belt incident over the weekend was the peak of the chaos, you are wrong. That was just a catalyst. And if you don't know what I'm talking about with the AJ Styles title incident, go watch the video before this one, as we do multiple videos a day around the clock, and we will never stop for all of you. We are going to spend most of this report breaking down the seismic power shift, because the backstage details that we are going to go over in this report are absolutely wild. But we also need to look at how the importance and the impacts the suddenly very cloudy WrestleMania 42 picture next year, while providing and pending free agencies. Let's get right into it. The hostile takeover, because here comes the money resurgence in World Wrestling Entertainment. The headline is what you might see on TV later on tonight. Shane McMahon is back, the commissioner of Monday Night Raw. Adam Pearce has been nurtured. He's on probation and answers directly to Shane McMahon. And being neutered isn't really what Adam Pearce is all about. But the real story is how this happened. And would you like to see Shane McMahon as the commissioner of Raw? Now, we're also going to get into the booking, the planning, the strategizing, and just exactly what Shane McMahon is going to do during this report as the commissioner of Monday Night Raw on Netflix. I have spent the last 3 hours on the phone with a source near the very top of the Stanford offices, and the word that I keep hearing is ambush. We can confirm via multiple high-level sources that Paul Triple H Levesque was not looped into the decision until very late afternoon on Monday. We are told that Triple H was preparing the script for Raw, which was already chaotic due to the AJ Styles angle and the Dominic Mysterio injury, and whatever is going to happen with Dominic Mysterio and his championships that he is currently holding, whether he's going to have to relinquish them, forfeit them, or whether or not we will have an interim champion while Dominic Mysterio recovers. When he was informed of a mandatory creative adjustment coming directly from the TKO Group Board of Directors, that adjustment walked out to Here Comes the Money at around 3 p.m. Again, that adjustment walked out to Here Comes the Money. The general feeling backstage right now is shock, and among Triple H guys on the roster, a significant amount of anxiety. This is being viewed entirely as a power play by specific members of the TKO board who have grown frustrated with Triple H's leadership style over the last several months. While Triple H was riding a wave of momentum and everyone was riding the coattails and everybody was singing the praises of Triple H, that hasn't been the way it was over the last several months. Well, what is the frustration, viewers? Well, we're going to get into that right now. We're going to handle that. Remember to hype and like and comment below. We're told there is a feeling amongst some executives that Triple H's hands-off, let the talent breathe approach has led to a lack of discipline. They point to multiple recalls and recent social media spats among talents getting out of hand. Missed live event dates by top stars, and inevitably the incident this past week, excuse me. Let's tie this in because this is directly related. When AJ Styles grabbed the mic and when he refused to sign the AEW World Championship, it wasn't just a viral moment, it was a corporate embarrassment for TKO. We're told that TKO stock actually took a minor hit in the pre-market trading on Monday morning due to the negative press and the perception of losing control of the independent contractors. The board saw AJ Styles, a veteran leader, acting out and vandalizing a competitor's intellectual property on WWE time and refusing to sign the AEW World title for a WWE fan at a WWE live event. Furthermore, there is rumors that other outlets that AEW's legal department did contact WWE on Monday morning. While a lawsuit over refusing to sign a replica belt is unlikely to go far, the threat of an injunction of cease and desist regarding the footage being used on TV was real, because again, a AEW championship was used. AEW property was used on WWE TV at a WWE live event. It was all over cell phones. It was going wild, viewers. It was a headache that TKO obviously did not want. The feeling among the board members who brought Shane in is that Triple H should have prevented that culture from developing. They view Adam Pearce as incompetent. And Triple H as too lenient. Shane McMahon was brought in as a fixer. He's a McMahon. He's old guard. The board believes he brings a sense of corporate fear they feel may have been missing in the Papa H era. Shane's promo tonight, where he told Pearce, the inmates are running the asylum and Daddy is here to fix it, was not just a line in script. This is a legitimate sentiment of the powerful people who put him in that spot. And again, do you think Shane McMahon should be in control? Remember, Shane McMahon ran SmackDown as the commissioner back in 2016. We all remember how good and how strong SmackDown was back then when Shane McMahon was running things, when he was the commissioner of the Blue brand. And things went pretty well. You saw the rise of Dean Ambrose. You saw, mid-carders really take their positions. You saw a lot of developments with Shane McMahon as the commissioner of SmackDown. Can Shane McMahon turn Monday Night Raw around? Can he shake Monday Night Raw, shake the foundation? Can he grab Raw by the throat? Now, so where does this leave Triple H heading into 2026? Well, quite frankly, this could be a civil war. We all know that Shane McMahon and Triple H has, quite frankly, never looked eye to eye. They've never been on the same page. There is no other way to put it. Triple H still technically heads up creative, and he runs SmackDown, but could he effectively lose over the flagship show? Could he lose his power? You have to ask yourself, who on the TKO board has the pull to orchestrate this behind Levesque's back? While we cannot confirm the direct involvement just yet, the speculation backstage immediately turned to Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. And we all know The Rock in his relationship with the McMahons, specifically Vince McMahon, and how close they are. Now, Johnson, The Rock, has been quiet since his move into the TKO boardroom, but remember the tension around WrestleMania 40 and WrestleMania 41. There has always been a philosophical divide between The Rock's Hollywood mainstream approach and Triple H's wrestling purist approach. If The Rock and his allies on the board feel that the product is getting too insider and messy, bringing back a McMahon, a recognizable name to casuals and shareholders, makes sense from their perspective. We are heading into 2026 where Raw could be Shane McMahon's show and SmackDown is Hunter's show. And they are going to be fighting tooth and nail for resources, talent, and WrestleMania spots. That is quite evident. Speaking about WrestleMania 42 viewers, fans, and subscribers, rip up your fantasy booking sheets. Before tonight, the working main event for Night 2 seemed to lock in as Cody Rhodes defending against Roman Reigns Part 3. It was a Triple H-style booking masterclass, long-term storytelling, elevating a new Monster heel, perhaps even Gunther in the main event of WrestleMania. Well, Shane McMahon in power on Raw, sources indicate that everything is back on the table. Shane is notorious for hands-on with his guys. There is immediate concern that the slow burn push of guys like Gunther or Illinois Dragunov might be sidelined in favor of a splashier attitude-style booking of part-timers that Shane prefers. Furthermore, if this backstage war between Triple H and TKO board executives does it manifest on screen? Are we looking at Team Hunter versus Team TKO and Shane McMahon match for control of the company at WrestleMania? It feels incredibly like 2001, but that seems to be the direction we could very well be hurling towards. And if that happens, does The Rock step out of the boardroom and into the ring for Team TKO? It's suddenly a very real possibility. 2026 contract watch. The first dominoes, ladies and gentlemen. Firstly, and finally, we need to look at the talent roster. The Triple H era was defined by morale being at an all-time high. Talent felt heard. They felt safe. Tonight, that safety has evaporated. We are heading into a major contract year for several top stars in 2026. The biggest names to watch for right now in the news, Kevin Owens. Owens has been a standout loyalist to Triple H. He has also famously had major friction with Shane McMahon in the past, both on screen and off. If Raw becomes the Shane McMahon show, sources close to Owens indicate he would be very hesitant to resign when his deal comes up. You can also look at guys like Sami Zayn, Finn Balor, and even Seth Rollins. These are the guys who thrived under Levesque's structure, and if that structure crumbles, AEW becomes a much more attractive option for them than it was 24 hours ago. The final Raw of 2025 will be remembered tonight as the night The board of directors finally lost confidence in Triple H's ability to manage the chaos of modern wrestling without an enforcer. They brought back the ultimate enforcer in Shane McMahon. We are entering 2026 with a divided house. The backstage politics are about to become more entertaining and more cutthroat than anything that you see in the ring. We'll have more developments and updates, and we'll try to get a gauge on the reaction of the game Triple H now that the dust has settled. Remember to stay tuned, because if it weren't for you, there would be no Sean View. And are you looking forward to tonight's edition of Monday Night Raw? What matches are you looking forward to? We know that The Vision is reportedly going to kick off Raw tonight. We're going to have a triple threat match for the Women's World Championship. Austin Theory will be in action against the legendary Hall of Famer, the 619 Rey Mysterio, who will come out with the win in that one. And also, viewers, who truly is the future of the WWE right now? In a list that was leaked online, looks at Austin Theory, Blake Monroe, Braun Breaker, Dominic Mysterio, Logan Paul, Lola Vice, Oba Femi, Sol Ruka, and Tiffany Stratton. That is an internal list that was leaked according to rumors and gossip online. Those are your future stars of WWE. Do you agree with that? Who do you think is the future of World Wrestling Entertainment? It all boils down to you. Because here on Sean View, guys, you are the foundation. You are what builds. You are the building blocks. You guys are the pulse behind Sean View Entertainment, because you guys have the most. Also, ladies and gentlemen, coming in from the dirt sheets, WWE locks in big 2026 plans for Jacob Fatu. Nick Gage makes a remarkable transformation after facing death in October. Mick Foley shuts down a fake story claiming he's furious with WWE after cutting ties with the company. Breaking news on former AEW World Champion, former WWE Champion Jon Moxley, Dean Ambrose, as Jon Moxley was quietly battling injuries throughout his AEW run in 2025. Also, a positive update coming out about Dominic Mysterio after injury scare at the AAA event. A huge positive story. Also, who just turned down an offer to return to WWE? Well, according to the dirt sheets, the websites, and the newsletters at this hour, Gail Kim reveals that she turned down a WWE return offer. She says, "I had to do it." Jon Moxley shows off a nasty chipped tooth after AEW World's End, and Liv Morgan's alleged stalker files insanity defense ahead of trial. Also, the Ayatollah of Rock and Roller, Chris Jericho's expected WWE return date for 2026 has been leaked online, according to those in the know. Ladies and gentlemen, this is what we do. We provide it to you because we believe in the viewers, the fans, and the subscribers. And we are now receiving word on breaking news on WWE PLEs. The real reason being revealed online, the real reason why WWE won't bring back brand-specific PLEs revealed online. Unbelievable, viewers. Fans hoping to see the return of brand-exclusive premium live events might want to put those dreams on ice, because WWE hands are tied by ESPN's checkbook. They did not pay half a roster on a PLE, Sapp explained. What they did pay for, though, are basically 5 to 6 PLEs. That becomes the standard now. According to Sapp, this format actually helped WWE for a while by allowing more marquee matches to air on weekly TV instead. But the core issue is simple. Unless ESPN decides to change the terms of their deal, WWE has no incentive to go back to brand-exclusive events. Again, unless WWE is paid for those additional events, it wouldn't serve them well to do them. He continued, they've set a minimum number of events they do with ESPN, and unless ESPN comes along and says, well, we'll expand this deal and you can do this, there's really nobody that benefits. In short, it's not about talent, TV time, or roster depth. It's about contracts. And right now, ESPN owns the format. If you've been wondering why the dual brand PLEs have become the new normal, now you know. The old school format isn't coming back anytime soon, unless there's a big change in the money department. What do you think, viewers, fans, and subscribers? What are your thoughts and analysis on this entire thing? I know it can be some on for it, some are for it, some are against it. But without you, there is no Sean View. Plenty more to come. Subscribe for hourly news, because Sean View is the premier source for World Wrestling Entertainment on time, in real time. Later.